So a Korean company called Muzlive has developed a digital/physical hybrid music format called KiTalbums, and normally I wouldn't take notice of this, but Earache Records has adopted the format for some of its extreme metal titles, so got me a little curious. And to that effect, I'm going to react to some media on the subject and see if this format has any real relevance to metal fans. Stick around. All right, so I basically thought that we should watch a little bit of a promotional video. They're calling it a user guide. This is over at KiTalbum or KiTbetter.com, which is related to Muzlive, which is the company that's doing all this KiTalbum stuff. I'm also killing the audio on this because I don't want a copyright claim, and it's dumb music. There's no narrative, so you can just watch the video itself, provided it wants to actually go. So there it is, KiTbetter. This is the actual device. And what you do is you take the device and you sync it with your phone. There's an app involved. You can get it on Google or Apple. It's for both. So you just connect it, hold the button for 2 seconds. The album's called up. It's really important to mention that the album itself isn't on the device. It's actually, the device is just a trigger to get the server, probably in Korea, to actually download the album for you. So it's not stored there. I think that's really important to mention. It's not like a CD. So there's also community also, so it has a little bit of a social media aspect to it. Some might remember Ping way back. That was an Apple service that was, I think it was loosely connected to Apple Music or iTunes back then, where there was a social media aspect to it. I'll run that video again just so you can see it one more time. And it didn't do well. Ping was a disaster for Apple, and they ended up getting rid of it because it just didn't work out that well. But, you know, some people like to talk about music, and so maybe it works better in Korea. We are going to talk about some of the cultural differences in terms of receptivity. This product actually is doing very well in Korea and probably in a lot of North Asia or Northeast Asia, how that ever works. Not Southeast Asia, that's very different. So yeah, they also have videos and all that other stuff. So it's kind of interesting. I did want to go to the actual KiTbetter site. I'm going to probably move over there now. Let that video play out. So this is their actual site. You can see that these are pretty small devices, actually. It's actually a Snoop Dogg album. Apparently some other label other than Earache is doing business with them that might be in the Western world. I'm going to assume Snoop Dogg, maybe he's on an Asian label. I don't know. I doubt it. So here are some of the things you get with it. You get square cards. They're probably just mostly photos. There might be information on the back, kind of a thing. You also get stickers. Sometimes you get one sticker. We're going to get to Earache's offering soon on that regard. Photo cards, booklets, lyric sheets. So you get a lot of what we call in the States tchotchkes, or just basically inclusions. Here is the kit itself. Again, not very big. It's probably about, well, yeah, little. And again, we went through a little bit of how it works, but so this little device has a button on it. You click it, you hold it near your phone. It triggers an ultrasonic sound signature unique to the device. It basically just tells the servers over at KiTbetter or Muzlive, so confused as to really which one it is, to download the content. And then each kit is unique to you. Again, I don't know if you can hot swap these with friends. It suggests that you can't, so that's kind of interesting. There's just a lot of other sort of sell points here. You can hold your music because, you know, you can't do that with vinyl or CDs. And I'm going to get into some of that later as well. Yeah, I think the social media aspect might be a sell point for them. It seems like you can make more money with them. I don't know if they're really, if that's real or not. I can't tell. So yeah, all this better for business, blah, blah, blah. This is just a lot of crap. So let's get to the article I have here on Music Week. The Earache partners with Korean music tech company Muzlive on hybrid kit format, since we are talking about Earache Records very specifically. And Earache Records has launched a catalog-wide collaboration music tech company, Muzlive. It's not their entire catalog. We're gonna show them. I think it's maybe like 8 or 9 albums, maybe a few more. So it is a hybrid physical digital kit album format. Uh, well, it's interesting because it's physical in the sense that there's, all the extras, you get the inclusions, and there is this little device, the kit. But realistically, the music's digital. I mean, you're pulling it off a server, to load into your player. Incidentally, the music only stays for 24 hours, and you have to constantly resync it, which must make travel really interesting for this kind of stuff. You can put more than one album on the device, as many as the device will hold. But again, 24 hours is the limit. That you have to resync it every day, which I don't really understand that. I mean, streaming services don't do that to you at all. So streaming has a bit of an advantage there. Of course, there was some interesting stuff here. 9 million Kit albums have been sold since 2017. That's pretty amazing, but I'm willing to bet 9 million of those, most of that 9 million is of they're Koreans or they're Asians in general. And I do feel like this is it came out of the K-pop world. And K-pop and Asian pop culture in general is very different from Western pop culture. I mean, it's really different. And I'm really immediately asking myself about that divide. I mean, does the Western world find a lot of this cutesy Asian pop culture appealing, especially metal fans, right? It's a very curious pairing. So Earache is the first label in Europe to adopt the format. Again, I don't know if any American labels have done this. I find it hard to believe that some of the ones we have here for extreme metal would do this. It is a curious choice. So Tim Bailey, head of Earache, not Dig Pearson, I guess I'm out of the loop, described Kit as a format for our times. Where was it? There was a great quote he had here. Well, it's right here in the pull quote. I think Kit is already the most important physical format since the CD. It's like, that format none of us really know about, or especially you didn't know about until now, and I didn't know about until a couple days ago, I'll be honest. The format's an acronym for Keep in Touch. I don't know how that applies to what's going on here. Maybe with the social media aspect, but Keep in Touch sounds like it's more of a slogan for like a phone company or a chat program. I don't know. Keep in touch by listening to music. Sure. I don't know if that's maybe one of those Korean to English language losses. Some things get lost in the translation, but yeah. So I kind of understand what Tim's saying here regarding some of the complaints about other formats here. He says, the endless choice available means I rarely immerse myself in albums the way I used to. I flip between albums. I'm impatient. My attention span is broken. I really give new records my full attention. It means I don't have that same intense connection to my new favorite music the way I once did. The Kit album invites us to go deeper. So a number of things to talk about there. One is that I think streaming has sort of removed us from a lot of the experience. One of the reasons I love vinyl, and probably many of you do as well, is that it is a tangible format. You can feel it. The large format artwork is there. You feel connected to the music. It's right there in your hands. So I'm sure this is trying to address some of that by including physical items. The interesting thing is he talks about the way I once did, the way I once experienced the music. Some of it could be age. I mean, let's be honest. Some of us are in our 40s and 50s. Music isn't new to us anymore. While we love music, it's not going to have that same newness factor to it. It's just not. So that's not something you're going to solve with a new product that's kind of aping other existing technologies. Let's be honest, CDs and vinyl to some extent. So yeah, I still love this. The most important physical formats is a CD. I mean, that takes giant balls to to claim. Because again, who's heard of it? Where was it? Its unique combination of tactility and scarcity of physical media and the portability and user-friendliness of the digital technology makes it the format for 2025 and beyond. Apparently someone's got a crystal ball. Interesting scarcity of physical media. Does anyone really believe that vinyl and CDs aren't around anymore? I mean, even cassette tapes are trying to make a comeback. That's all around. It's always funny when I'm on Facebook or other social media and I run into sort of out of touch people of my generation who are like, uh, vinyl, too bad it's dead. I miss vinyl. And I'm like, dude, it's been back for a while. Open your eyes a little bit. So that's interesting. Tactility, again, I've talked about that. That's kind of a winning thing about having that physical, tactile kind of experience with your media. Great stuff. 9 million copies again. And of course, they're naming these K-pop bands, 17, Blackpink. Um, Here's the interesting thing. Whilst the avid collecting of exclusive photo cards has helped drive K-pop sales, will be a less prevalent sales driver to rock and metal fans. Rock fans similarly love the bands they follow. And I read that weirdly, but you could read it again. I don't know, are the photo cards the sticking point or the sell point? I don't know. Um, but again, it brings us back to, are metal fans going to buy into this? I don't know. They want music to be held in their hands, a piece of art to get lost in a tangible, immersive experience that connects them to their favorite artists. Again, vinyl, CDs, tapes, all do that already. So let's see. I just want to check this one more time. We believe that every artist has their own superfans and understand that a single physical album sale creates more value than 1,000 streams. This is true. I think now is the time for us to try something new, and I hope that the Kit album will become a new alternative in the music market. I am very pleased to embark on this innovative endeavor with Tim and Earache Records. So this is Muzlive owner talking about this. And again, will it? Will it not? Who knows? I'm going to go over here. I want to go over to Earache, and I have Bolt Thrower already pulled up here. This is Realm of Chaos. They do have other titles. We'll flip back to those in a second. $22, not a bad price. This is a pre-order right now because they're available in May 30th. So you may see this video before or after that. So react accordingly. Realm of Chaos, great album. It's the second Bolt Thrower album after A Battle There Is No Law. Classic album. Looks like you get the kit, you get the photo cards here. Well, this is a photo card. This is a whatever photo. I forgot how they just made the distinction between the sizes. You get a sticker. I almost thought it was a Pog, for those who remember Pogs. And this little keychain-like device in case you want to wear it on your keychain or your belt, because that's metal, right? So yeah, $22, interesting price. That is cheaper than vinyl. I did do a mock order, and they add $10 for shipping to the United States. So $32 total, which isn't bad. Even you go into a record store and you buy vinyl, you're probably going to pay $35 plus tax. So it's cheaper. It is cheaper if you think about it. But again, it takes up 4 to 5 times the room of a CD on your CD shelf. And of course, it's small format art and all of that. And also, you don't own this music. Again, it's hiding on a server in Korea. I mean, you don't own this. It's not a CD. So there's a lot of that here. A lot of this text, by the way, was in the article I just read. This is Tim Bailey talking about the same stuff. A nice format change there. Yeah, and all this you saw in the thing. So I do want to go back to the available kits here. You got At the Gate, Slaughter the Soul, classic album. Carcass, Heartwork. Entombed, Left Hand Path, amazing album. Also Godflesh with Street Cleaner. It's the only Godflesh album I like, and I do love it, actually. Some of these other bands, I don't know Massive Wagons. I know other people do. I think they're bigger in Europe. I don't know who this is. Morbid Angels, Altars of Madness. Amazing Morbid Angel album. You got Municipal Waste. That's a new band, a newer band, crossover thrash. Interesting. The Art of Partying, older album for them. Scum from Napalm Death. Interesting choice. The first album. Not Harmony Corruption, not Utopia Banished. Sleep. You got some newer bands here as well. But they're trying stuff out. And that's, that I'm going to click on Morbid Angel here. Yeah, so you get much of the same stuff. There's a card, there's a sticker, there's the little keychain thing. So these boxes I should describe, they are about 5.5 by 5.5 inches and a little under 2 inches thick. That's a lot. Did I mention that before? I mean, again, it's the size of a CD box set, but those are interesting dimensions. Again, also, I have some notes over here as I'm just looking at over here. The other thing is about the battery. There is a battery in this device, and I have an iFixit battery replacement step-by-step here. So you have to pop this sucker open with, it says with a spudger. If you have, whatever other tools like a spludger, you can. I don't know, some of you probably aren't electronics hackers, but you got to pop this thing open, and then you get this. Interesting, the technology is really kind of simple there. I mean, and it looks like this is that paper? It's paper. I don't even know if that's silicon, but there's the battery. It's a good size. It might last a while because of that. But yeah, you gotta pop this sucker open and get in there. So you gotta know the battery's gonna die on this thing. Admittedly, looks a little cheap. Let's be honest. And then you put it back together. Kino, by the way, was the old name for it. It became Kit or KiTalbum later. But this is the name that the Koreans used initially for it. So there's that. Going back to Morbid Angel. I don't know. I mean, I was kind of thinking about it as well. I thought to myself, well, I love this music. My initial experience with Earache Records, I might have talked about this before. Back in the early 90s, I was metal director for my college radio station, and we needed more metal in the station. I bothered my boss about it, and he was like, well, just call the labels and get product servicing. So I actually, well, the funny thing was I told him, I said, some of these calls are going to be Europe basically, and that's going to cost a lot in long distance calls. He's like, don't worry, the college will pay for it. So I remember calling Earache, and I talked to Dig Pearson, and we talked about product servicing, and I got this big box full of a lot of these albums, like Alters and Bless Us Sick, Harmony Corruption, Street Cleaner, Recaputrefaction, Necroticism, like a lot of stuff. Grind Crusher Comp was in there. And I had a real love for this era, and I love these albums immensely. But I'm wondering if that love ports over to going, should I try this new format out, right? I don't know. It's got this cutesy Asian pop culture thing going on for it. I think this is more relevant to their culture and not necessarily ours in the Western world. But again, am I torn? A little. But, again, also, you really have to think that if Muzlive goes away, so does the music. Again, it's not stored on this little box. It's on a server. So I keep having to say that, but it's true. So I don't know if it's really going to work out in that regard. Otherwise, you're just left with pictures and stickers in a box, right? But I don't know. Tempting, hard to say. Again, I just want to kind of look at the others here as well. It's interesting newer bands like Municipal Waste are on here. But it's pretty cool. Scum's an interesting choice again. I might have gone with Harmony Corruption. I said that before, but yeah. But yeah. So, past this, I don't know if I would. Again, I think there's this weird sort of cultural difference between these Asian countries. I mean, a lot of this came out of the K-pop and J-pop worlds, mostly K-pop. And this sort of cutesy packaging. I don't know. I would be really interested in hearing what you think about some of this. You should tell me in the comments. But yeah, I just want to take another look up. Let's go here. Street Cleaner as well. I mean, it looks okay-ish. But again, I point out a lot of stuff that I have a real problem with. Looking over my notes here, I think I got to everything. Yeah, 24 hours. That's really a killer. Like, again, if I want to go on a trip, I mean, you've got to take all these little boxes with you on a trip. Like, what's the point of digital music if you have to take a stack of these little blocks with you just to load the albums back on the phone every single day? That's a pain in the ass, right? So I don't know. I think it addresses certain concerns you might have with physical and digital, and it tries to sort of bridge that gap, but it also brings along the problems with both, depending on your use case. And I don't know if I have a use case for this. I just don't. Other than, ooh, it looks kind of cute, and I do love these albums. So is it going to play on my love of these classic Earache albums? I don't know. Signs point to no. I mean, to be honest, but yeah. And I don't know what else really to say about it. Hope Snoop Dogg does well, I guess. There he is. So anyways, there it is. KiTalbums. Sure, why not? So, given all of this, I'm likely not going to invest in this format, and for me, it's a lot about use cases. I mean, if I'm at the house, I listen to vinyl, and if I'm out and about, the choice is streaming. I just don't feel like I fall into some middle ground, which this format seems to be addressing. Also, do I really need one more physical musical format in my life? I mean, I just don't think so. And what about the other drawbacks, including not owning the music, only getting access for 24 hours at a time, and the hassle of swapping out that battery? So yeah, not really sold on this. But, of course, maybe you think differently. You should let me know what you think about it, if you're interested, if you're not interested, if it's a completely boring idea, or even a misguided cultural attempt. You should let me know that and any other thoughts that come to mind in the comments below. Of course, reaction videos aren't the only thing I do here at the Accusation Network. Generally, I do videos on metal vinyl collecting, but also classic and modern metal in general. If you like the sound of that and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, it'd be awesome if you did that. Also, maybe like this video and share it out, and maybe some of my other videos, with some of your friends on social media. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.